Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you a full face of Project Pan products. The products that I use to do this makeup look that I'm wearing right now are all products that are in my current Project Pan that I'm trying to use up or use most of. If you want to see everything that's in my Project Pan, I have a complete what's in my Project Pan video already up on my channel and I'll link it in the description box down below. If you're wondering why I'm dressed like this, I'm about to go to cheer practice, so this is also a get ready with me for cheer practice. Usually before cheer practice, I do wear makeup because I wear makeup all the time in my life usually, but usually I've been going through my Project Pan products recently and trying to get a lot of wear out of those. So this is a pretty realistic representation of what makeup I would be wearing to cheer practice recently. And yeah, this is the look I've come up with most of the products from my current Project Pan, or as many as I've been into right now. If you'd like to see how I achieve this look, then please keep on watching. So I'm going to start off by going in with my NARS Oil-Free Pro Prime Pore Refining Primer. I'm not very good at using primer every day. I just don't reach for it as much, but oh, there we go. I reckon that's about enough primer. I'm just not very good at like consistently using primer because I don't feel like it does a huge amount for the lastingness of my makeup, but you know, I want to use up these products before they are expired, so I actually don't use my NARS primer as much. I do have another Rimmel primer that you saw in my Project Pan and I have been using that a little bit, but I don't know if I like it. I don't know, I feel like it kind of gives a weird consistency to my makeup because it kind of like makes it move around a little bit more than it usually would. So I'm not sure if I trust it, you know what I mean? But I'll keep using it and I'll let you know once I've used it a little bit more how I really truly feel about it, because I feel like my opinion on it isn't like the certain opinion yet. Next I'm going in with my Maybelline Cushion Foundation, and this is the Super Cushion Ultra Cover Cushion Foundation. It just looks like this with a little puff. This is an Innisfree puff that I hauled recently that I've been using instead of the like puff that came with it. And this doesn't have as much left in it, so I'm going to be really working to get this product out of the like cushion in here. That was actually really difficult to get like product out of this cushion foundation. I think it is all used up now. Like I think that was its last use in there because there is really not much product coming out of the cushion anymore, which is sad because I think this was actually a pretty decent shade match for my like winter skin tone. It was quite pale, but it worked out for me alright this winter. But oh well, I guess we're gonna work into some warmer months soon, so it wasn't gonna last forever anyway. I'm glad to have finally used it up as well because it wasn't my favorite ever. At the beginning of this foundation, I thought that maybe it was too thick or too full coverage just because I was used to a more natural coverage in a cushion foundation. But I actually really like this foundation in the end. I found it was really usable. I found that it worked in really nicely over the skin and gives like kind of like a very skin-like satin finish. Maybe that's also contributed to me bouncing in using the little cushion here. But yeah, I just found this overall actually a pretty good foundation in the end and I ended up quite enjoying it. Next, I'm going to be setting my whole face using the e.l.f. Translucent Mattifying Powder, and I have hit a decent amount of pan in this recently. And yeah, I'll just be setting my entire face with this. I find that by setting my entire face, I'm going through this powder a lot faster than I was before, and it also means that when I apply products over the top of my face, they're less likely to be patchy or skip over my face just because I've set an even base down. I'm going to be sweating loads at practice tonight, so I don't mind going in heavy with the powder because I'm going to be sweating, and so I need all the locking in power that this powder will give me. And it's actually a pretty decent powder. I find it wears really nicely over most concealers. Oh my goodness, I forgot to wear concealer. Do you reckon I can layer it over this powder? I'm gonna do it. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte concealer. It's supposed to be for blemishes, but I'm just gonna stick a little bit under my eyes. That is literally all that I have left, like that little tiny little blob there. So I'm just gonna put a little bit under my eyes. It's not really meant to be an under eye concealer and I don't recommend it as that, but I'm just trying to use it up. And it does give me the little bit of brightness that I like kind of look for from a concealer. Yeah, I'm just so excited to use this up. There's only the tiniest amount of product left. Usually I go in with foundation first and then layer on my concealer afterwards. And then I powder over the top of that, but I forgot today. But this is working out okay. It's not the best finish, but like, oh well, I'll just powder over this and hope for the best. I just want that little bit of brightness, you know? I'll do a little bit by the sides of my nose as well, just because I like a little bit extra brightness there. Yeah, it looks alright. Well, that is a fair bit brighter. I kind of like that. I'm just going to set that concealer using the same palette from before. I'm so excited. Do you see a little bit more pan showing through? I'm really excited to use up this powder. I'm going to use the Hula Bronzer from Benefit, and I have a huge amount of pan on this as well. As you can see, I'm just getting those side parts there, but there's actually a lot of product in the sides, in the corners of the box, because the box shape of this like bronzer means it's kind of more difficult to get into those corners. So those little corners actually have a decent amount of product in them. So I've actually been working on those tiny corners for ages, and I feel like they're gonna last me quite a while longer. So yeah, I really like this bronzer though. It's not my favorite holy grail ever, but yeah, I quite like this bronzer. It really does serve its purpose. I feel like it has a huge amount of product in there. I think it's 8 grams. Yes, it is 8 grams. But I've been using it for quite a while, and it's been taking a while to use up. So that's a pro and a con. A pro in that, you know, you're getting good bang for your buck, but it is a con for me as well because I have other bronzers that I would like to move along to instead. But no, it is enjoyable using up this bronzer. By the way, the brush I'm using to bronze my face has no like label on it, but it's just a Real Techniques like face brush. There we go. Now that I've used up a load more of bronzer, I'm going to go in with the Bourjois blush that I've been trying to pan. This is the Bourjois blush in the shade Ambre d'Or. It's in the shade 32, and as you can kind of see, I've used up this part of the pan. So that part that you can see down there, that's all used up entirely, and this is the amount of blush that is left in this product. It's actually a really pretty shade. I'm just like excited to try new blushes, so that's why it's in my project pan, but it's a really pretty blush. I really love the scent of the Bourjois blush pots. It's just a really sweet little rosy scent, and it's really nice. It's not overwhelming, it doesn't smell sickly. It's just like a really cute, classy rose scent. And the brush that I'm using is the brush number 300 from Real Techniques. The next product I'm going to be using is this highlighter. This is the Super Shock Cheek Pearlized product from Colourpop in the shade Lunch Money. It just looks like this. As you can see, mine is super beat up, and there's only a teeny tiny bit left in the sides there, which is really difficult to like get out when it gets to this point. This was originally something that I just wanted to like hit pan on all of my Colourpop like highlighters, but then I ended up getting addicted to like wanting to use them up entirely. So that's my new plan. I'm going to use up Lunch Money entirely first, probably just because it's like a shade that I've been reaching for more, and I feel like it's a shade that I have duplicates of in my collection, and then I'll use up my other ones after that. But yeah, I've been enjoying using this one like everywhere. I love to use it for like highlight on the cheekbone. Also, I like to take it above the brow bone there, like all the way up to the like forehead like that. I don't know, that's something I've been feeling kind of recently. I didn't always used to do that, but like it's just another place you can put highlight, and it kind of like brings more like forward shape to that place of the face. I don't know if that makes any sense. Of course, I also use this on my Cupid's bow, down the center of my nose, inner corners of my eye, and brow bone. So I'll be doing that. Oh, by the way, I just did all of the highlight just then with the setting brush from Real Techniques. Mine's missing the tip because it fell off like a week after I bought it, but that's fine. The brush still works fine. I'm now going to be using the Real Techniques shading brush, and I'll be going into all those little details on my face. I also like to grab my highlighter brush and do a little C shape here, just to connect that highlight on the cheekbone up to the highlight on my like forehead as well, doing a little C motion there. Next, I'm going to be grabbing the Rimmel Brow This Way Brow Duo, and it just has a brow pomade and a brow powder. So that's the brow pomade, which is pretty much mostly gone, and I've hit a little bit of pan on the brow powder. I'm going to be taking this like shading brush from Real Techniques. I'm not really sure what it's called again because I've forgotten, but it's my favorite brush from Real Techniques, and it's already dirty because I can't remember when I used it, but I used it for something else. And I'm just going to be shading this in like the outer part of my eyelid, just to give a little bit of shape using that brow powder, because it's a powder that I like to use up. I just cleaned off my brush for the most part, and I'm going to be taking a little bit of the bronzer that I used, and I'm just going to lightly contour the sides of my nose with that. No extreme contour, I'm just going to cheer practice, but I feel like I could use a little bit of a snatch on my nose right now, so I'm just going to do that. Yeah, I like the way that came out. Now I'm going to brighten my mobile lid a little bit using more of that shade Lunch Money from Colourpop Cosmetics, and I'm just going to pack that onto the kind of front center part of my mobile lid, just kind of loosely so it has more of like a shimmery effect in the center there. So it brings just like a little bit more brightness. It looks kind of weird now, but it'll all look normal when I chuck on a like winged eyeliner in a bit, so. There we go. Next I'm going to be grabbing my eyeliner, and this is the Essence 2-in-1 eyeliner pen. It just looks like this. And I'm going to be using the thin eyeliner side, which is not that one. I've used up the like chiseled side. The thin side is just a thin felt tip liner. It's not that incredible of an eyeliner just because it's a felt tip liner and I prefer a brush tip liner, but I've been using this just to do a dodgy wing recently just because I'm panning it. So I start off by like doing my wing, and then I kind of color it in and fill it in, and I follow along that line to create the kind of line along my lash line, and then I fill in underneath just to color in any gaps between my lash line and like underneath my waterline, or any holes that might be in my lashes that I haven't colored in with eyeliner properly. And yeah, that's kind of how I do my eyeliner, and then I repeat that on the other side. I kind of try and mimic the angle of my wing, so if I've got a more upwards wing, I'll try and go more upwards. If I have a flatter wing, I'll try and do that. Mine's pretty evenly on a diagonal, trying to follow along from the shape of my lower lash line, how it goes up like that. I try and follow that line. So I'm going to try and mimic that on the other side. I'm not going to cry if it's not identical because I don't really care that much, so. I find that with felt tip liners, this is my difficulty. It's really hard to get a nice, precise tip. I like a really, really sharp wing, and it's kind of difficult to get a sharp wing, especially with a running out felt tip eyeliner. There we go, that's pretty similar, good enough. Now I'm going to go into my brows, and I'm going to be using this Rimmel Brow This Way brow pencil. It is tiny and short, but it works. The color is actually pretty decent for me. I'm not sure what color this is. I think it's just called plain brown. I'm just going to be drawing on my brows with this dodgy little brow pencil. So I'm just going to draw a tail on first. And then once I've drawn on my tail, I kind of draw a couple of strokes through my brow, particularly in the more sparse areas. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not a brow guru. I'm not that good at brows, to be honest. And once I've kind of filled them in and made them look a little bit darker, as you can see, this brow looks a little bit more like complete than this one, then I'll just grab the little spoolie that's on the end of the brow brush there, and just like kind of scrape through my brows just to brush all the product around and kind of hopefully make them look a bit more blended. And then I'll just repeat that on the other side. And I try and copy the same angle, like this one's a bit more like downwards today, so I'll just make a bit more of a downwards like wing to my brow on this side. Not wing, tail. And I try and follow the shape of my natural brow hairs. They kind of all go in a particular direction, and my brows don't look like siblings much, but whatever. They're friendly cousins that like each other a lot. Cousins that get along, you know? I'm just going to pat over the front of my brow there just because I feel like I made it a bit too bold. I'm just using the like little puff from my cushion foundation that has a little bit of excess product on it, and I just tap over the front of my brows just to make sure they're all like cohesive with my face and don't look like they're standing out or a bit too unnatural for me. And yeah, I think that's everything I'm going to do for that. I'm going to put on some mascara if I can find it. I have like a box down here with all of the Project Pan things that I've been trying to use up on the daily. So the mascara I'll be using is the MAC False Lashes Extreme Black Mascara. It's just a tiny little baby sample like this, and this is what the wand looks like. It's not my favorite wand, to be honest, because it's very intense, so I feel like I'm just kind of rolling like it straight onto my eyes, if that makes sense. It doesn't have a lot of gaps between the bristles for my lashes to fall into, but it is good mascara. It's just not like anything special. I wouldn't say, wow, this is an incredible mascara. It's just another mascara that I'm using up, so yeah. So I'm just going to try not to do what I just did. I just stamped it on my eyelid. Not too heavily, thank goodness, but now I have little dots of mascara on my eyelid. I'm actually not that into mascara because I feel like I don't really have much lashes, and mascaras don't do an incredible amount for me just because I don't have that many lashes to begin with, so I don't really use that much mascara, and then I end up having to Project Pan it. Ever do, usually, most of the time, is go for lower lash mascara. I don't know, I'm just not into the look of like mascara on my lower lashes for me. I feel like it like brings a darkness underneath my eyes that I'm not as into. I really like a really like lifted kind of sculpted upwards going look, if that makes sense. Next I'm going to be applying a lip product, and this is the Too Faced Melted Chihuahua. It's just a liquefied lipstick like this, and I'm just going to be applying it straight from the applicator. I actually love the shade of this lipstick. It's a really nice My Lips But Better kind of shade. It's a bit darker than my natural lip color, but it doesn't look like deep or like too out there. And the last step is setting spray. I'm going to be using the Makeup Fixing Spray from Model's Own. It just looks like this. I've been using this spray a fair bit recently. I don't love the scent, but it is a good setting spray. It does the job, keeps me glowy, kind of sets my makeup in place. So I'm just going to use a load of that. And then I have this fan that I found recently in my house, which I've been loving to like fan my setting spray so that it like dries faster. And I feel like it makes my setting spray more strong, like it gives it strength, if that makes sense. I don't know, something about fanning your setting spray into place gives it strength in my opinion. That is the completed makeup look. And yeah, that is the makeup that I'm going to be wearing to cheer practice tonight. I'll show you really quickly what my outfit's going to be for cheer practice tonight. I'm just going to be wearing this like matching Adidas set. My top is from Adidas like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, maybe even more. And then my shorts are the Adidas Climber Cool shorts. I'll just show you the back. They just look like this. And they just have the like stripes down the side. This is actually a matching set, but the shorts are older, so they don't look as like matching. And the back of the Climber Cool sports bra just looks like this. So it's got like a cool crisscross. One piece kind of goes over the other piece like that, if that makes sense. And yeah, it's a pretty decent bra. I really like it, and I think it's really cute as well. Anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment anything you'd like to see from me in future down below. Subscribe to see more content from me, and hopefully I'll see you in a future video soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.